Hello everyone, this is Prerna Swami, a student of Sri Shivaji Science College undergoing graduation, and today I am here to present a seminar on the topic paper chromatography. So these are the contents which are chromatography, types of chromatography, paper chromatography which includes principle, procedure, RFLU, nature of paper chromatography and developing solvent used, technique or types of paper chromatography, then the application or uses of the paper chromatography, and the last is reference. So what is chromatography? Chromatography is a separation technique used to separate different components of the mixture. The different components of the mixtures travel through the stationary phase at different speeds, causing them to separate from one another. From the diagram given below, you can understand it. Now, next is the classification of chromatographic techniques or the types of chromatography. In any chromatographic technique, two phases are involved, which are stationary phase and mobile phase. The stationary phase may be solid or liquid, and the mobile phase may be liquid or gas. And on the basis of these two phases involved, the chromatographic techniques are classified as absorption chromatography, ion exchange chromatography, gas solid chromatography, partition chromatography, thin layer chromatography, paper chromatography, gas liquid chromatography. But the type of chromatography which we have to discuss in detail is paper chromatography. Paper chromatography is a very simple separation technique in which the components of mixture can be separated by the movement of solvent along a special type of filter paper, that is Whatman filter paper. So here paper is used for the separation of various components present in the mixture, hence it is called as paper chromatography. Some terms that are used in paper chromatography are stationary phase, mobile phase, solvent. The stationary phase is the paper or the water molecules present on the paper. Mobile phase is the liquid or solvent used to separate the molecules in solute, and the solute is the mixture which we have to separate. Now the principle. Why is this paper chromatography carried out, or what occurs when paper chromatography is carried out? The principle involved in paper chromatography is partition chromatography, in which the substances are distributed or partitioned between liquid phases. Both the phases, that is stationary and mobile phases involved here, are in liquid. One phase is the water, which is held in the pores of the filter paper used. The filter paper used here is Whatman filter paper or cellulose filter paper, and it has water retention capacity. Hence, every mesh of the filter paper will act as a water holding cell. And the other is a liquid solvent which moves over the paper. Because of this liquid solvent, the molecules in the solvent get separated on the paper. The next is procedure or technique of paper chromatography. First, a horizontal line is drawn near one end of the filter paper. The line should be approximately 1.5 cm away from the bottom edge. Then the sample which is needed to be separated is placed as a small drop or line onto the paper using capillary tube. This drop is placed on the horizontal line which we have drawn earlier. The paper is then placed into a sealed container with a shallow layer of suitable solvent. The solvent level must be lower than the pencil line or the solvent drop which we have drawn, because if the solvent level rises above the solute, then the mixture or the components present in the solute will get mixed with the liquid solvent. Hence it is necessary that the level of this solvent should be lower than the line which we have drawn. The container is then needed to be covered to stop the solvent from evaporating. Then the solvent rises up the paper, taking each component present in the solvent or sample with it. And hence, in this way, the mixture or the solute or the components present in the mixtures are separated. When the solvent rises near the end of the paper, then the paper should be taken out from the sealed container and then it is air dried. The components, now the graph which we have plotted, because of the differentiation of the different molecules, that graph is called as chromatograph. The paper is called as chromatograph. The paper with separated bands or components are then observed under UV light. In order to calculate these various components, RF value is used. In paper chromatography, the spots of the separated components are identified from their RF values. What is RF value? RF value is retardation factor. RF is defined as the ratio of distance travelled by the solute from the baseline to the distance travelled by the solvent from the baseline. Thus, RF equals to distance travelled by the solute from the baseline to the distance travelled by the solvent from the baseline. The grey spot, that is origin, is called as the solute, and the blue margin, that is solvent front, is the distance travelled by the solvent from the baseline. Let's look into the picture. This is solvent, mobile phase. This is how it travels upwards, and the various components are separated. This is the origin, solvent front, the distance, then the distance travelled. This is how it is separated. The components get separated. The origin is marked, solvent front is marked, the paper is dried, and then the distance travelled by the solute, distance travelled by the mobile phase, which is also called as solvent, and the distance travelled by the red dye, which would be solute. The distance travelled by these two are measured and RF value is taken out. Then, the nature of the paper and developing solvents used in paper chromatography. It is necessary for the paper and developing solvents to go through under some criteria in paper chromatography. It should certify some defined criteria. So, paper should have maximum degree and clarity of separation. The components, it should have the maximum degree, and the separation clarity should also be maximum. The paper should have negligible diffuseness of the spots. The spots which are formed should not get diffused. The paper should have excellent rate of movement from the solvent front. It should have excellent rate for the solvent to move. Then the next is developing solvent. The solvent must give circular spots and no telling should occur. The solvent should be chemically inert towards the components that are needed to be separated. Solvent should not react with the components present in the solute. The solvent should not interfere in the detection of components after the development of chromatogram. The solvent should not be too viscous. The RF values of samples should lie between 0.05 to 0.8. Then, the types of paper chromatography. Paper chromatography has mainly 4 types, which are ascending paper chromatography, descending paper chromatography, radial paper chromatography, and two-dimensional paper chromatography. The first one is ascending paper chromatography. In this type of paper chromatography, the solvent travels up the stationary phase against gravity. See, here the direction of flow of solvent is upward and it is against the gravity. Hence, it has the name ascending paper chromatography. The second type is descending paper chromatography. In this type, the solvent travels down the stationary phase towards the gravity. Here, the direction of flow of solvent is towards the gravity. Hence, it is called as descending paper chromatography. The third type is radial paper chromatography. In this type, the solvent travels from center of the paper towards the periphery. The fourth type is two-dimensional paper chromatography. In this type, the solvent is passed through two different angles of paper, like given in the diagram. The first angle is paper is kept vertically and the solvent is allowed to pass through the paper. Then after some time, the paper is tilted to 90° clockwise and then the solvent is let to pass through the paper. This is the two-dimensional paper chromatography. Next is uses of paper chromatography. Paper chromatography technique is relatively cheap, fast and simple technique, and it requires a small apparatus and very small quantity of sample is sufficient to carry out the process. It is used for separation and qualitative identification of substances. It is used for quantitative analysis of organic, inorganic and biochemical samples. It is useful in analysis of mixtures of sugars, mixtures of amino acids. It is also used to separate the mixtures of sugars and amino acids. It is useful in separation and analysis of pharmaceutical samples and drugs. The reference. Lastly, thank you.